Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. I got a couple of quick little housekeeping things at the beginning of the video for you here. We're going to make this card today. It is, housekeeping number one, our inspiration challenge in the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social. So if you don't know the Craft Social, check it out. It's our Facebook group. The link is below the video in the description. And we have a new challenge every week there. 1 week we play a live game, Coffee and a Mystery Card, where I lead you through a project using a set of clues. And on alternating Thursdays, we have an inspiration challenge. This week, it's our Inspiration Kitchen. So this is our Inspiration Kitchen challenge, and your job is to make a paper craft using the kitchen as your inspiration. So this is my inspiration, and this is our card today. It's a simple standard fold card. Housekeeping point number two, it is one of the 3 projects in our September host code make and take bonus. So this is project number 1. This is project number 2. I'll see you live on Facebook Live tomorrow with this fun little treat holder. I'll also do a clean video for YouTube, so this will be our project number 2. And project number 3 is our little pocket card. So we've got a fun fold card, a treat, and a standard card. And when you do an order of $70 or more using the host code on your screen, MarisaAlvarez.StampinUp.net, and click shop, in the next 2 weeks, so between now and September 18th, I will send you a kit to make one of each of these projects with 2 6x6 sheets sampler pack of the Celebrations or Celebrate Everything Host Designer Series paper. So you'll get 2 6x6 sheets of each of the designs and the host exclusive paper and the kits to make these 3 projects. Only now through September 18th, using the host code that you see on the screen, MarisaAlvarez.StampinUp.net. All right, let's get started with our card. We've got a Sahara Sand 8.5 by 5.5 card base. It's already scored at 4 1/4, and we're just going to go ahead and run our bone folder over that. And we're going to wallpaper this card. I don't do that too often, but I really thought it kind of picked up on the tile look in this inspiration picture. So we're going to use 4 by 5 1/4 of this kind of exaggerated wood grain from the Celebrate Everything Host Exclusive Designer Series paper. This Designer Series paper, I think, is on par with the Berry Blessings paper. That was a celebration paper from a couple of celebrations ago that with the berries. It was just an awesome paper pack. This is as awesome as that, but it's exclusive for hosts. You have to have a $150 order and use your host rewards to redeem it. But you'll get the sample pack if you use the host code this month, $70 or more. And I think you're going to love the little taste of it. You'll want a full pack, but it'll be nice to have some to play with and to make these awesome projects. All right, so we've got our Designer Series paper on our card base. Next, we'll do some stamping. I've got some Saffron, some more Sahara Sand, and I've got my Stamparatus over here. We're going to do the Thanks a Bunch on the Stamparatus because I was noticing that my bunch was coming out a little bit light when I was using Memento to get the greetings. So I'm going to do stamp ink, and try to get that bunch to be nice and dark. You can, if you don't have the Stamparatus, you can go over with a Stampin' Right marker if you're finding that you're having the same issue where you want a darker coat of ink on that word bunch. It's a little bit more bold, and I was noticing that on the Sahara Sand it was a little fuzzy, a little kind of salt and pepper, a little bit, I don't know, looked a little woolly. So I'll ink and stamp, and then I'll open and I'll ink and stamp again, and that'll help me get a nice strong black image for my bunch. All right, now I'm going to put this aside and give it a second to dry. I'm going to bring in some Saffron ink and our sunflower. Now, this is a stamp set that's been around for a little bit. It's a Celebrate Sunflowers cling stamp set from Stampin' Up. And you can get this one still from the annual catalog, the Stampin' Up 2021-2022 annual catalog. And we're going to stamp this sunflower. It might be something you already have. And so I think it's kind of fun to mix something that's been around for a while, like Celebrate Sunflowers, with something that's brand new. This host exclusive designer series paper from the holiday catalog. So we're mixing the brand new with the old favorites and see what we come up with. It was inspired entirely by our Inspiration Kitchen. All right, so there's our sunflower image. Let's do some quick punching here. I've already got one of these ahead of time because I happen to have a few of them left over from another project. That's why I'm using the punch also in this project, is because I had some extra ones. I'm using the bow punch, and I'm going to punch 2 leaves for this card. Now, if you don't have the bow punch and you're making this one, if you get the kit, the make and take kit with your host code order, then you'll have that punched for you. But I don't do any of the die cutting with the sunflowers dies, but you could absolutely use the sunflowers dies in place of that if you're doing your own kit. All right, I just happen to have some, so I'm using them up. Let's see here. I think next up we're going to do some die cutting, and we're going to do as many things on a pass as we can do, because that's how I roll. So ahead of time I did one of these leaves. It's Pear Pizzazz for the base and Old Olive for the details, and I have a piece of cardstock, Pear Pizzazz, Old Olive, just scraps, but my Old Olive has the adhesive on the back already. This is the Stampin' Up adhesive sheets, and you just peel the liner off of one side of the adhesive, add it to your cardstock, trim to size, and then die cut. When you die cut, then you can just peel and stick. It makes it really easy for those details. So Pear Pizzazz, Old Olive. We've got crushed curry here, same thing with the adhesive on the backing. I've got a scrap of early espresso and a scrap of basic black. And I also have a little scrap of vellum cardstock here. So those are our pieces. We're going to do a couple of passes through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, I got my machine set up to die cut, and the first thing we're going to do is lay our saffron, sunflower, and got our outline image. You can use whatever you have here. I always grab the low-tack tape from leftover projects. This was an old Stampin' Up washi tape. You can use washi tape, you can use painter's tape, you can use, some people use like surgical tape. Just something that holds it in place. A Post-it note works. Let's line this up. When you're lining this up, look for your landmarks. The landmarks here are these petals that curve off to the right. You see, so we're going to find those petals on the die, the ones that curve off to the right, and then lining this up is super simple. So whenever you've got kind of a tricky die like this, the first thing you do is recognize and find your landmarks, and it makes lining it up so much easier. All right, now we've got our Pear Pizzazz and our leaf. We've got our Old Olive with the adhesive backing and our detailed leaf. Got the center for our sunflower here. Now this one's really important. I want to get this one on this pass because it is used on both the crushed curry and on the early espresso. So if I can get it on this pass, then I can maybe do this in 2 passes. So there we go with the early espresso. I think that really is about all I can fit on this pass. So let's give that a crank, get those through. Now, if you're doing this, you've got the make and take packet. It really makes sense to just cut all your pieces at one time. I'll cut it one time each in the videos, in the video series. But if you're making this from the packet, or if you're making your own and you're gonna do all 3 of the projects in this series, then stamp all 3 sunflowers, do all your die cutting, one pass after the next. Just get it all done and then go and assemble your card. Just a little pro tip for doing a little bit more mass production type of a a method. All right, we're gonna set these guys all aside for just a minute. We got another pass to go here. Got our little piece of vellum and a butterfly. Now this butterfly is not from your sunflowers dies. If you've got the kit, we'll cut this one for you. We don't do any of the sunflower stuff for you, but it's from the meadow dies, and we'll go ahead and cut that from vellum and put it in your kit. You can substitute something if you don't have meadow dies to get yourself a butterfly. All right, I think that, and then our greeting is our last item. Where did I put that to dry? Here we go. So here's our greeting. I've got a label. This is from the Seasonal Labels dies, and it is this long skinny banner right here. And then I taped the little die that does this cutout to the label die, and now we've got a tag that cuts the little thread hole at the same time. All right, so we want to line this up so that we have room to the left for our little butterfly, and so that everything is going level. We'll cut this tag for you just like this too. If you get the make and take kit, you would have to stamp on your tag, but just in case you don't have that particular tag, it really is a perfect fit. So we would do that in your make and take packet for you. If you're cutting your own, that's the Seasonal Labels dies. All right, let's pop the lid on again, give it another crank. 2 passes through the machine, not too bad. If I didn't already do it ahead of time, we would have added the leaf and the little detailed leaf on so that we could have 2 of those, but I did do one ahead of time. Now I'm gonna peel this right now as it's coming off the machine because it wants to be taken apart, and I want to show you how when you peel the image away from the adhesive, it will come out almost entirely weeded. You won't have to sit there and poke out those little bits, and we're covering up the center, so we do not need to worry about all those tiny little dots in the center. All right, let's get this out of the way real quick and adhere this where it needs to be. So again, we're gonna look for those landmarks, those petals that curve off to the right on both of our stamped image and our die cut image. Gonna line those curved petals up first, and then we can adhere this little detail down over the top, and it's gonna have just easy adhesion, perfect, lined up perfect. Now, this guy, I'm gonna bring in my little pop-up trash can here and get this started. So we do have to push a couple of these out to get it started. Now I'm gonna work right over the trash can, but let me show you with some contrast what I'm doing, because the brown over the gray trash can doesn't give you much to go on. We're gonna just cut everywhere that there's a petal and push everywhere that there's a negative with the scissor. So it's just gonna all come right off like this. And I'm gonna do that over the trash can and let the pieces fall right in. So you don't need to cut where the petals are. It's already die cut. Just push it away with the side of your scissor and then cut the next petal outline. And you don't need the center for that either, so you can pop that out while you're at it. All right, there's our brown center. Now I'm gonna put the brown over the yellow. And again, I'm looking for those little landmarks on the inside too, so that this lines up nicely around the edges. All right, we're building the center of this sunflower really big. You have the option of the little center if you wanted. You could just have the wide yellow and then a narrow brown or black, this little guy right here. But because of my inspiration kitchen with the really big sunflower centers, I decided to build this out a little bit by cutting that extra layer. Now, have you seen that trick? Something stuck in the die, just grab your washi tape and you can use the low tack tape to pull it right out. I love that trick. Saves me a lot of headache and a lot of poking things with sharp objects. I'm gonna grab one of these black Stampin' Dimensionals. Love the black ones. They come in a combo pack where you get the regular size and the minis. We'll just pop that on there. Now let's see if our trick is gonna work as good with this little detailed bit that's stuck in the die. Just gonna pull that right out. Ha, look at that. It pulled it right out and took the liner off of the sticky. Well, looks like we're gonna have to use our sharp object to get the outline out of there. Good thing we got those release holes. Oh, that was easy enough. All right, now these two need to get weeded out. And we're going to, this is already sticky. We can just adhere that right to our leaf. Now you'll need two of those. I did another one ahead of time, showed you earlier. We've got our two leaves here, getting all of our elements. Here's our tag, and you'll see it's got the little thread hole already in it. When you tape those things together, it makes it nice and easy. And our vellum butterfly. Now let me bring the sample and our project back in here. Here's our sample and our card. It's really pretty simple from here. I got one more bit. My inspiration for this little black accent is the back of the chairs. I really wanted to get that dark black kind of pop. So I'm going to take this swoopy circle, cut it from a scrap of basic black, and then just for some fun and games, you'll see, instead of just a flat black swoopy circle, I'm going to add some texture to the back of this. I'm going to get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to take this swoopy circle and I'm going to pop it right into this largest ring, or tree ring, on the hybrid folder. And close that up. And it's just going to add that cool tree ring texture. I like the natural look of it, and it kind of ties back to our exaggerated wood grain designer series paper. Now this hybrid folder is a 3D folder, so we did 1 and 4, and now we've got this just really cool tree ring texture. Just a little something for, a little treat for the eyes. Let's go ahead and adhere to our card. We'll do the swoopy circle in the bottom right corner. And then we're going to do our sunflower, but we're going to go just close to the center with the adhesive and pop this dude on to our card. Maybe that way. Now we did just close to the center really with the adhesive, because now we're going to go in with our leaves and kind of tuck them underneath, and we have plenty of space to do that. Got one, and then a second set of sprigs. Just a little bit of adhesive on the stem is enough. It'll give your leaves the opportunity to flow free just a little bit, but still be secure. Next up, one of these dudes. We're going to pop that under over here. We don't want it to go past that fold of the card. So get as much as you can. I'm going to slide my sunflower just a little bit. I want to show a little bit more of that leaf. It's got some awesome texture. Thanks a bunch. And our next leaf. Let's do the leaf first, and then we'll tie some linen thread on our tag. I've got a spool of linen thread here. I'm in a loopy bow. Let the natural fiber with its kind of quirky curls be part of the design. It really works with that exaggerated wood grain and the sunflower, the neutral colors. We're going to tie the bow so that there's nice big ears and kind of loopy, long loopy tails. All right, we're gonna have to trim a little bit. Might be a little extreme over here on this side. There we go. Give my bow a little finesse. Liquid glue on the back of the tag. Add the tag over the sunflower leaves and our little swoopy circle. I just love this card. So much fun. Our butterfly needs some life, so we're going to fold the wings up, hold the body flat. You can add a dab of glue to the body. And then we'll add that over the tag. And then our last step is to embellish. I have opal rounds for my embellishments here. I love these. They're a little bit tall. So you'll notice that the only dimensionals on this card is at the very center of my sunflower, because my opal dimensionals are kind of a thick embellishment, but I love the little bit of fire that they throw. I'm going to add one of the bigger ones on my butterfly, and I'm being pretty generous here with my opals. I'm going to do 2 to get kind of a triangle placement, and then I'm going to put 2 more kind of down below here. And of course you can use as many or as few as you want. You'll have these opal rounds in your little make and take packet if you qualify for the make and take packet. Just use the host code and be sure that the address that you use with Stampin' Up! Is the correct mailing address for your make and take packet. If you use the host code, your order is $70 or more. I will mail the make and take packet to you automatically. No need to request it. The host code will let me know and the total dollar amount. And just double check when you put in your order that your mailing address is correct so that your make and take packet does not come back to me, okay? So MarisaAlvarez.stampinup.net, click shop. Between now and September 18th. Don't forget to check out the weekly deals. Stampin' Up! Has weekly deals all month of September, and the Perfect Partners promotion where you can get some really cool stamp sets from the annual catalog now as bundles with dies, or you can get the dies if you've already gotten the stamp set. So check out Perfect Partners. I'll link those promotions, and if you've got any questions, reach out. Email marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. If you have any interest in joining us in the Craft Social for our Inspiration Kitchen game, I hope you'll check it out and join us. If you use your Stampin' Up! Supplies to make a paper craft inspired by our Inspiration Kitchen, please come and share. We have a fantastic and growing group of just very encouraging, friendly crafters, and we would love to see what you make using the Inspiration Kitchen as your muse. Check out the group below. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.